right, welcome to Life Extension Live. I'm Dr. Mike, and I'm here with my co-host, Dr. Chris O'Gossert.
Hello.
So, did you know every September 2nd is World Coconut Day?
Woohoo!
And as you can see, we have our coconuts.
Yes, a variety.
We get a lot down here in South Florida. I don't know if people know. I mean, they grow all over the place.
They're kind of a nuisance.
Well, you got to be careful. Some of these trees are 50 feet high. These things can knock you in the head, and that'd be it.
Yes.
Yeah, so taking care of coconut trees is actually something we do down here.
That is very true. We have to prune them.
We have to prune, but let's get on with why it's World Coconut Day, because at the end of the day, they're really good for you.
Right, and there's so many different uses of the coconut. I mean,
Yeah.
you have the water, you have the meat, you have the oil.
People make flour.
Oh,
Coconut flour now.
coconut milk.
Coconut milk. And it's good overall because it's pretty much low glycemic, right? That's kind of and it's great for people with blood sugar issues. And really, a lot of other health benefits we'll talk about. But I think that's really, at the end of the day, the water, the milk, the meat, all that low glycemic.
Yes.
All right, so on today's show, we're going to talk about what are coconuts. You might be surprised. Coconut health benefits, myth and facts, and we have a bonus. You ready? We're going to teach you how to open one real easy. It's going to get messy.
Oh, I bet.
Woo, better put that down. All right, let's get on with the show. Before we show that, is coconut, this is for you.
Okay.
Is coconut a nut or fruit?
It is a fruit.
Boom, boom, boom. Now, there's a name for it, right? What is
It's
it?
a drupe.
And most people, I didn't know what that was. What, a drupe?
So it's a fruit with a hard, kind of stony outer covering. I mean, you can see that. That's pretty hard.
Yeah, even when you peel it and get all that
Yeah.
out, this is the end of it, right? And
That's the seed
Yeah.
inside of the fruit.
Yeah. So you got the fruit, take that away, you're left with the seed, and inside of that is all the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And so there's no cocoa in it.
There's no cocoa, and it's not a nut. However, Dr. Mike, it is considered a tree nut according to the FDA.
Okay.
So it's one of the 9 major allergies. So although it's not, or allergens.
Allergens, yeah.
So it's not a nut, but you'll see it listed
As a tree nut.
as
Okay,
a
that's
tree
really
nut.
confusing. So the government calls it a tree nut, so it's listed as one of the nut allergens, but technically it's a fruit.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're at the seed of the fruit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I hope we clear all that up for you. So we have a nut that's not a nut, that's a fruit that actually is a seed.
But here's the thing. So what all this means is that if you are allergic to nuts, you may not be allergic to coconuts because it's not really a nut.
Yeah.
But
warning, don't follow the government. It's a tree nut.
I know.
Okay. All right. So we already talked about types of like the meat and everything. Overall, when you look at the uses of coconut, you got the food itself, the meat.
Yeah, so that's what you find in the stores, the shredded coconut. It's sometimes German chocolate cake. The icing.
That's all
That's
bunch of
the coconut.
Why did you get so excited
I don't
about
know
German
why.
chocolate cake? But it's not just sweet, right? There's savory uses of coconut. There's it's used in soups.
Yes.
A lot of Vietnamese,
Thai,
use coconut. So there's it's not just your German chocolate cake.
Right, and that's more of kind of the meat where they've created a milky like substance from the meat.
I do like the meat with a little sweetness. I told you I had some in the store once. It was being handed out, and nothing was added to it. It was raw coconut meat, and I wasn't that impressed.
It's pretty good. Winston likes it. Winston's our dog.
Winston's your dog.
Winston likes it. We always call him the vegetarian dog, but he loves coconut.
So we have also the coconut water, and then also you have as a milk alternative, coconut milk. That's growing in popularity. I mean, I still think oat and those are way ahead of it, but little by little, I think more people are looking at coconut milk. What about this little, the oil? We're going to talk about the oil because I know that that's a little bit of a controversy. Is that really healthy or not?
Yes.
And we're going to help you with that. But what about this fun fact here? Coconut water has been used in intravenous hydration in emergencies.
Right. Well, it's full of electrolytes, potassium in particular. Coconut water is jam-packed, over 600 milligrams of potassium in just 1 cup of coconut water.
If you look at the nutrition facts of coconut water, we recognize that it has a lot of the minerals that are important to, say, like the DASH diet, which is the diet to stop hypertension. So your calcium was in there, the potassium was in there, the magnesium was in there. So it's actually a pretty good water to drink.
It is very good. I like to have coconut water if I eat something that's a little too salty. And I was like, okay, where's my coconut water? And then the potassium can kind of balance out the sodium. We know that relationship between sodium and potassium. You kind of have to have a good ratio.
Absolutely. So when we look at the coconuts here, let's quickly talk about what we have first before going into the benefits, because there's different sizes and colors, right? So all the way on your side, that would be what we consider the youngest.
It's a young coconut, very heavy for its size. And it's like when you hit it that way, then you can kind of feel it vibrating. Guess what's vibrating in there?
The water.
The coconut water.
The coconut water. Think I got it right.
The young coconut has really sweet water.
Yeah.
But you can't really hear it.
Okay. But now before you go, but again, you have to peel all that off. You get down to the seed, and that's when you can open it up and get that water.
Yes,
right?
and it's more of a machete motion.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of peeling that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. And then as we just get a little older, they get a little bigger. They start to get a little darker.
Yes.
Again, still considered pretty young, though, right? And then here, I guess you just have middle-aged.
Yep, middle-aged
like
coconut. You can sometimes start hearing the water in this coconut, but this is starting to develop more of the meat. So the meat inside of that seed is kind of getting a little bit thicker.
So water, meat, and then you get to the old guy.
Yeah.
The old guy, this is the meat.
Mature coconut.
Interesting, when you shake the old guy, the mature one, can they hear that?
Yes.
That's the water, but that one has more of the water, and that's because of the shrinking of the meat and all that kind of stuff and the maturing of it all.
Yeah.
So even though you can hear it, that's better for the water.
Yep, and then the meat
Better for the
here
meat.
is it's thicker, firmer meat. This is what's going to make a good coconut milk. If you take that meat and kind of puree it real good and add some water into it, you can make a nice
And the soups
milk.
too, like the soups. This would all be that. Now, when you hack all this off, right? Because all of this has to come off the husk. This is what you're left with, and I think this is what most people, right? When they see this, that's coconut.
Yeah.
Right? So this one's going to have a less water, lots of meat, and we're going to show you how to open this coming up. All right, health benefits. Overall, what do you think number one?
Antioxidant.
We love it.
Anything from nature, growing on trees, full of antioxidants. The antioxidants from the oil and even the water has been shown to have anti-inflammatory effects. We do know the oil can have antibacterial effects.
Yeah.
Really great for dry skin.
Yeah, I had read that a lot of, especially in the Caribbean areas, a lot of the indigenous people there, it was aloe and coconut. Yeah. That's how they soothe the skin. It's how they treated infections in the skin.
Yeah.
I don't know how they mixed it up. I don't know that, but I know that it wasn't just aloe.
Well,
they were using a lot of coconut as well.
Yeah, that sounds actually a nice combination. I may try that.
I'm sure you will. The fats now. This is where we get in the oil and the fat. This is where you there's some controversy, right? Because I hear it all the time. Oil from plants, which at room temperature are liquid. That's what you want to do. But the one exception is coconut. That's the dangerous oil. Robson, you were asking about this. By the way, we have Robson running the production. Hannah's on the camera. Hi, guys. Yeah. Robson, you were worried about the oil, right? You had heard it was not good for you. I I think we need to clarify this a little bit.
Yes. So normally your oils from your vegetables are polyunsaturated fats, very liquidy, right?
Right.
That's what you see. Even at room temperature, they are liquid.
Right.
But the coconut oil is saturated fat. The majority of the fats are saturated. That's why coconut oil will be a solid.
Right, if you leave it out. Yeah,
yes, at room temperature, it's kind of a solid. And so that's where you're starting to see some of the controversy, because we do know saturated fat is associated with heart disease. And so there is kind of like, and some people say, well, they're smaller saturated fats. They're
Yes,
medium
chain. The coconut fat is medium chain.
Right. So the size of that fat molecule is smaller. So maybe they're not that bad for you.
And there's been studies, at least, that support maybe some weight loss.
Right.
Waist circumference going down. I know you had one randomized trial here. Middle-aged people experienced abdominal obesity. Okay, well, they had abdominal obesity. The coconut oil reduced waist circumference, elevated HDL, and lowered the ratio of LDL to HDL. All good stuff from that saturated fat.
That's right. But, Dr. Mike.
Oh, there's a but.
A 2020 meta-analysis.
Always a but.
Shined a more not so favorable light on the coconut oil. So ultimately, your American Heart Association is saying
it's still saturated. It's saturated. I know.
Saturated fat, you probably should limit the coconut saturated fat, just as you would saturated fat from animals.
Yeah.
And so that's where kind of the state of the research is in regard to heart health, but there may be some weight benefits.
So what about sugar?
Yeah.
We mentioned at the very get-go that at the end of the day, most people like coconut, at least the water, at least the meat, right? Let's leave the oil out, whatever, because it's low glycemic, right?
Right.
Tell us a little bit more about the sugar content here.
Yeah, very little sugar in the coconut, and so it's something that you can enjoy, and it will bring a bit of sweetness into anything that you're baking. So sometimes I'll use coconut flakes if I'm making some kind of low carb energy bar.
Yeah,
sometimes you use the coconut, combine it with almond butter, a little
That
bit of
sounds good.
cocoa powder,
That sounds good.
little chia seeds. Oh man, and that's a nice little kind of snack on the go with the coconut.
So we have here a cup of coconut water contains approximately 10 grams of natural sugars, right? That's not it's not the overly processed white sugar that we're adding to everything else, right? So that's important. And it has only up to 45 calories.
Yeah.
But has all the good electrolytes. The meat, you have here about 6 grams of total sugars. So the meat, again, low glycemic. So it's a good way to go if you're worried about sugar.
Yeah, and just don't overdo it, because I know one of the common questions we often get is, can I eat coconut every day? People want to know. And I've seen people that they hear that it helps with weight, and then they just coconut every meal. They have replaced everything with coconut.
That's what we do in this country.
Right, and we have to stay... It's all about balance, moderation.
Balance.
Don't overdo it.
I do like the fact that if you break down that meat, you pull out that sugar, it has fiber with it.
Yes.
And so that right there means it's not going to absorb into your bloodstream as fast.
Right.
You're not going to have those crazy sugar spikes that we know our audience knows about, because we talk about that a lot.
All the time.
So again, that's why we classify this ultimately as low glycemic. Yeah. All right. You know what we need to do now? We're going to have a contest.
Pull out the machete.
Crystal.
And the drill.
Crystal gets this.
Yes!
I get this. And we're going to see which one of these opens a coconut better, just to get the water out. We're not talking about ripping the whole thing out, right? We're just talking about extracting some of that water. So stand by and see who's going to win.
Yeah, put in the chat who you think's going to win.
Woo! All right, so now we're back, and we are going to have a little contest. We're going to see, is it Dr. Crystal with her drill, or is it me with my wine opener thingamabob? Now, don't laugh at this. This has some history and tradition. Robson could tell us a story about his mom. This is how she opened her coconuts. Why are you laughing? No, I don't know if it was this one. It was a different one, but whatever. We're going to see. And then the first person who gets it open sticks the straw in and gets a drink.
Oh, yeah.
You can drink it right out of here. That's what it has its own
yes.
container. No plastic. Although they come with plastic now, though. Why do maybe we should just do it like that? Okay, here we go. We're gonna have a timer. You got a timer or something, right, Robson?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? 1. You want to give us a countdown, Robson?
Yeah, let's do that. And 3, 2, 1, go.
I won. Mmm. Do you need a little help?
Look, wine. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you're in? Oh, no way. No.
Not in. Well, I won. Obviously, Dr. Krista. So this is a really good way to get the water out. You even got some of the meat out with it. Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Robson, I don't know about this. Let's just save this for the wine. Thank you. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching us today. Don't forget National Coconut Day every September 2nd, right?
Yes.
She's already not even paying attention. Every September 2nd, but you can enjoy coconuts all year long. A lot of good health benefits, low glycemic, the water, the meat, even the oil with moderation, right? So thanks for watching. Don't forget, we go live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. So like, comment, share, and subscribe so you always can watch us live on Wednesdays. Dr. Crystal, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Mike.